Good afternoon, viewers. It's another Wednesday again, right here on Eco TV, on your favorite platform, the Youth Spotlight. That your platform that will bring you youths around this globe that are doing everything in their power to make sure that national development is a growing thing. And of course, every week we bring you different people, different personalities, what they do, how they do it, and what keeps them going in this platform. So to sponsor this platform on Eco TV, call the numbers right there on the screen. But then, I am your favorite host, Kadi Drame, and today I have a guest, a very important person, I will say, because see those what is very important and what many people can't do, that is to create awareness, to talk about issues that affect me and you as an individual, and that person is no other than Khadija Mane. So Miss Khadija Mane, thank you so very much for honoring this invitation, and thank you for being here. You're welcome to the Youth Spotlight.
Thank you so very much, my sister girl, Kadi Drame. I am honored, and then it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We are more honored. And as I said, every youth has a take in national development, and everyone has something to do. But then I won't be the one to tell you what this girl does, but then to tell you for sure, she is an advocate. She works with the community. She works at local levels to. She doesn't have to wait for a platform to work on international levels or on big levels so that she could impact her society. But she works at level, the grassroots level, so as to put impact into our society, into our nation at large. And then see, I will tell you for free, not every youth can do what you do, can talk about issues that are affecting national development and knowing that there are consequences after saying it, because that is what we are taught in this country. But then, Kadi, tell us in short, what is advocacy for you? Why do you choose advocacy?
Thank you so very much, my sister, my Toma, for all these beautiful things.
Okay.
Well, advocacy to KDE Mane will be to speak up. Because advocacy involves a lot of things. So
Okay.
you have to speak up in order to be heard. So that is advocacy for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is important. And as I said, not everyone can speak up. But then we are glad if we see young people that are not seated alone idling, but then doing something very important for national development. And personally, I will say I will want this to be centered on a particular project that I saw you working on recently, which is a PAT project, I will say. It is based on menstrual health. And it is something that you and I and the girls out there, and even men out there, need to be educated about. So I came across a post that you made on it, and I will want you to tell the viewers down here, why do you choose to talk about such a critical and sensitive topic right now at the midst of very difficult, like at this point in time, everyone is focusing more on politics, more on NAVEX issue than health issues. And why do you feel like it is important to talk about this at this particular time?
Well, to start with, I have talked about NAWEC, I have talked about politics. I don't get involved into politics, but when it's necessary, I speak up.
Okay.
I choose to speak about this particular thing because women are already getting tired of talking, and then I do not want us to relent, to give up. That is not my thing.
Okay.
I want to keep speaking until and unless my voice is heard, and then I want every girl to speak up as well. Recently, I just couldn't sit down and watch how crazily things are going, and then I call myself an advocate and human rights activist.
Okay.
And I choose to sit down. So no, I choose to speak up whenever there's an issue arise. Yeah.
That is important. So, for you, what is that project called? How does the project start about? How does it come about in your head?
Well, as a lady, I think that is my first motivation to start up this whole thing. But then again, let's go to the matter that even pushed me harder to start this whole thing.
Okay.
I was sitting on this particular day, and then a lady came to me and was like, girl, I needed part because the cash I have with me is not enough. I was like, how much is the part again? And guess what? Part is $65.
Okay.
$65, not any other part, but Sahnasi. And then it is only consisting 8 pieces. And I got mad. How can 8 pieces be $65? And we are expected to to change that particular pad in every 3 hours for 5 to 7 days. I mean, how can a basic school girl afford that? If I can afford that, how about someone who is not working? How about someone who doesn't have means of surviving? How about someone who is fully dependent on her parents? And then she's not the only girl child. I mean, she's looking at other girls. She have siblings. How can she get that particular part? And then Gambians tend to normalize using only pad in terms of menstruation. Menstrual hygiene is above only pad. We need to talk about all those stuff. So I think that is one of the things that motivated me. As a youth leader, I shouldn't just be quiet. As an activist, I have to speak up. As an advocate, people are looking up to me, so I have to speak up.
That is interesting, and it's something that I will thank you for doing, because I won't act surprised, because I'm a lady myself. I know what I go through every month to get that $65 a pound. Well, the first time I went and I realized that the prices have risen, I was like, fila wala, man magija and menstruation. But then at the end of the day, we realized that, as you mentioned in your story, that it is not only pad that one need during this difficult time. There are people go through different stuffs during menstruation, and there are people that go through cramps, instability. There are a lot of things that are involved when it comes to menstrual hygiene. And as Gambians, or I will say, as the local person will know, they might only need a pad to sustain their dignity so that they won't get stained or stuffs. But then, what is any other thing, that a tip that you think every girl needs during menstruation apart from pad? Because in as much as you mentioned, we need to change it 3 times in a day at least. But that is something that most people don't do. I don't know if they know about it. But then, what is it that an educative message that you will tell people that are listening, or people that you are ready to make aware that menstrual hygiene goes beyond just buying sanitary pads, or just... I saw someone that used a sanitary pad for the entire 5 days of her menstruation, or 7 days. So I'm wondering, how many times do you change?
Girl. At some point, you just look at girls and be like, what is going on? Okay. But then I do not blame them. Okay. How can you just give a pad to, let's say, a 15-year-old girl, and then tell her this is what you need when you are menstruating, without explaining how she needs to use that pad, how she needs to take care of herself, how is she able to, how will she be able to move and then sit in a midst of ladies, or in a midst of gathering, without feeling belittled, without feeling insecure, without just being down. Okay. Emotionally, we need all the supports. Physically, we need all the supports. As it is advised, the scientists will tell you that you should change a pad for 3 hours. Every 3 hours, you need to change that pad. But how do you expect me, as a girl, managing 8 pieces of pads for 5 days, to change 3 hours? Every 3 hours, and then you expect me to change that pad? That is not possible. How am I supposed to get the rest? That's
so you feel like economics plays a part in it?
Yes, it does. Because if I don't have the pad, how am I even supposed to change it?
Okay.
They will advise you to go for the local pads, but then let's talk about this. Then later you can ask.
Okay.
And
there are local pads also. So, anyways, today is, as I said, today is a very interesting day, and there are a lot of things that we will talk about. That every girl child down there will be educated about what we are saying today, because it's of all of us our concern. And as you mentioned, $65 is a pad that has only 8 pieces is expensive. That is not something that we should joke about. These are basic necessities that I would say. I call them basic necessities, because it's part of what makes me human. I go to school, I go to work, and you want me to work effectively, you want me to learn effectively, I need to feel comfortable. And for me to feel comfortable, those 5 or 7 days are part of my month's duration that I go through. So you will see that I don't really know how it goes, but then there are school students that will tell you we miss classes because we are on our menstruation. So as a person that is working on a project to encourage or to educate people on menstrual hygiene, what are the steps that you think you could put in place to make sure that students or working ladies won't feel belittled or won't feel uncomfortable or decide to stay back home just because they are on their menstrual cycle?
Well, that is a very important question. First off, the project is starting with that.
Okay.
We are on a survey to know the issues at hand, and then to know what steps the girls' home can take in order to help these people. Because I cannot just get up and say I want to help without knowing a problem.
Okay.
You cannot
That's
solve
interesting.
something that you don't know.
Yeah.
So we are carrying a survey to know the difficulties we face, and then the solutions that people think us can take. Because a girl child shouldn't be neglected. We should not be sitting at home all because we are on our menstruation. We do not ask to menstruate.
Yeah.
We need to understand
Very
that.
important.
We do not ask to menstruate. That is our dignity. We do not ask to menstruate. So if we menstruate, we need all the things that we need. It's a basic, like it is a necessity, as you mentioned. It is a need and not a want.
Yeah.
We need to understand that.
Yeah.
Parts are needs, and the needs are different from wants.
Yeah.
Needs is something that you cannot live without. Wants are some things that you need, like you want them, but then you can live without them.
Okay.
So we need to understand these few things. We are carrying the survey, and then hopefully, if the survey is done, we will know the steps that we need to take in order to solve these issues.
That is a very good step down there, and I hope every girl child that comes across that survey needs to give in his or her thoughts on it. Even a male, because there are men that are very sensitive, that are very, we might have some inconsiderate men out there that do not know about menstrual hygiene or how to stand by someone that is going through her cycle. But we have outstanding men that knows when someone is on her cycle, that knows how to go about it, and they need education or they have education on them. So any guy or a lady that saw a survey regarding this issue, I think it's not about, it's a responsibility on you as an individual, because like I said, it's humanity. We need to do this because, as he mentioned, it's not something that we want, but it's what we need. So for our needs to be met, we need to speak about them. People need to know. She knows her experience, and our experience on menstrual cycles could be different. I might see my menstruation, I go through cramps, I fall sick, I will take medication, injection at some point, then take care of myself, I'm okay. Some other person might go through worse than that or less than that. So we need, that survey is very important, and I feel like every young person, everyone that comes across that survey needs to give in your opinion or your experience, your thoughts, your knowledge on it, so that they can know where to pick up from there. So from there, if after the survey we know what we need to do. So do you have any sponsors or any person that you are partnering in with this project? Because personally, I think the ministries of gender and all that need to be involved in this, because I'm not doing an advert, but then as a lady, we need to talk about things that affect us. And this is not about her project, this is about our project, because it's a girl thing. And not just a girl thing, it's a humanity thing. And we don't need just private people coming about them. We might need stakeholders in the ministry, in the government, to step in, because in as much as you want to go about this project, I believe if you don't have a support in it, it won't work. So how far with supports or donors that will want to help? Is there any that reach out?
I mean, this is Gambians for you. If you start speaking up, some will just come attacking.
Okay.
But then I made a post. The first post that I made, I posted it on my Facebook, screenshot it, and then I shared it on my WhatsApp status, and it went viral. Everyone is talking about it. At some point, people were attacking me. That why am I tagging the ministry? The ministry is doing so much.
Which ministry is that?
The Ministry of Gender and Children's Social Welfare, stuff like that. I'm like, what is going on?
So they
That
thought
is
they're
her
doing
duty.
enough?
Exactly, that is her duty. Whatsoever the minister is doing, it is her duty. We are paying her. And something like the Madam Kinti, that is the ministry, that the minister rather, it's very calm, she's very calm, she has been I'm like, hello, you can be calm, you can be kind, but it's something that is expected of you. If you are not doing it, we will talk to you. I am stand to be corrected, but then if you do something as well, I will correct you. I will tell you the things that are affecting me. If you are my minister, I will talk to you directly. Like I tagged her. I was like, you know what? If you have the minister's home address, her email address or her phone number, please give it to me.
You will
I
reach
will
out.
personally reach out to her. Because, tagging her on Facebook, I do not tag her personally. I tag the entire ministry.
That is our ministry.
Yes.
That is
So,
our platform.
Exactly. So I have every right to
Yeah.
do that. So do not come to me and then be attacking me. And then after that post went viral, few people reached out to me that are willing to help.
Okay.
And then, Gambians will have a lot of great ideas in them, but then they will not choose to speak up.
Implementation becomes a
That is our
problem.
problem. That is our problem. So after reaching out to me, we have been talking, we have been reaching out to others. They are willing to help. And then I am willing to work with them. We cannot do this without the government,
Okay.
without the Ministry of Child, Gender, and then all those
Social
things.
welfare.
She needs to step in.
Okay.
She really needs to step in because this, as you said, is not my project. It is our project because I can choose to sit down because I can afford it myself. But what if someone out there who can't afford it? What if girls that are in the provinces, do we know how they go through? And then people are like, the ministry is, how to call it? Supplying parts to the schools. I'm like, it is not enough.
Okay.
Do you make inquiries about the kind of parts being supplied to the schools? Do you know the quality of those parts? Like, do you know the quantity of the parts selling in the market? You don't. So what are you telling me that the ministry is doing enough? If she is doing enough, it might be at some areas, but I am not seeing it.
Okay.
I am not satisfied with what she is doing regarding the parts thing. We need to have it, if not free, but accessible.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. And I think among your survey questions that I come across this morning, I think it's been posted today. I actually saw the survey, and one question caught my attention that I felt like if actually the ministry is supplying parts, they also need to ask that question before supplying the parts. And that is, which part do you use? And I think that is very important because not all parts are comfortable with us. There are some parts that irritates people's skin. There are some parts that are not very comfortable to use because some people have very heavy flows. So you cannot just supply, I wouldn't mention a particular part brand, but you cannot just supply me that particular part brand because I think I have experienced once in my senior school a part being given to the school under the name of the ministry. But then you cannot just supply a particular part and then feel like everyone will use that part. And at the end of the day, all the people in that school will not even collect the part. The parts were there. We left them there while graduating from that school. Because what everyone will say, man, they use part beanie. And we are being picky. And even if you are being picky, I think like it's our right to be picky about it because it's about our health. Because the part is not healthy, personally for me, because it irritates my skin. And it does the same thing to a lot of girls. So not every one of us was ready to use that part. So I felt like if you want to do more, we are not saying you are not doing enough. You are not doing something, but then as I mentioned, you are not doing enough because you just cannot give out any part that you want to give out to schools and just stop there. People need education on these matters. As I mentioned before at the starting of the program, we don't just have to be using pads just to know that we need to use pad during our menstruation. We don't even know the hours. Some people, I don't call people illiterate, but some people haven't gone to school, so they don't read the instructions and those parts that it needs to be changed every 3 hours or so. So how those people down in the village, hopefully those that have already married and they are not off to go back to school, I would say people that have not been to school or people that have not yet get the access to go to school, because we have seen that in this country there are still young people that are still not going to school. So how will they know the education surrounding menstrual health if you just stop at supplying parts? So I felt like more needs to be done, and people reaching out to bully her or to ask her question as to the ministry is doing something and this and that. Gambia, we need to talk. I tell you, man, I'm a lam and bini rek. Purneka fi talk fi ni te wahuma. At some point, you are not deaf and dumb, so they are deaf and dumb, so they are putting in efforts to use sign language to talk. You that have the ability to speak up, you think you cannot speak up, and if people speak up, you want to bully them or to criticize them. She is not doing it for herself, I will say this, because she might afford it, as she mentioned, but then someone down there in that village or someone right here in the Greater Bangalore area might find it difficult to access it because of the cost of it, probably, or then the knowledge or the education that comes with handling yourself during menstrual hygiene. So I think we need to do a lot, and if we cannot, let's encourage those that are doing it. And for the ones reaching out, thank you so very much. And the ones that are yet to reach out, try to reach out. Help this project, as I mentioned, it is our project, not just her project. So, and for it to work, we need all hands on decks for it. So then, I think that message is clear to them. But then I heard you talk about local pads. So I want us to know something about it. What is the thing about local pads? Do we have local pads in this country, or do we have people working on local pads here?
Local pad is something that generations before us were using.
Okay.
Pads were not around.
Okay.
They don't even know what are pads.
Okay.
All right. But then I am not saying local pads are bad.
Okay.
But at some point, if you don't know how to use it, it is very bad.
Okay.
It is very, very bad if you don't know how to use it.
So if we term it as local pad, you mean in essence the clothes that are used before pad?
Yes, because
Okay.
they will tell you that you just all you need is to go and the wrapper that has been used, you just cut it into pieces and then you start using it, and that is bad.
Okay.
A cloth that you already used, you want to reuse it on your private part. That is a sensitive part we are talking about.
Yeah.
And if you are to use those local parts, it needs a lot of efforts, because when you use them, you need to how to call it, hang them outside. You need to iron them. You need to keep them safe.
Okay.
If
we
you
have
are
to go
about to
through all
use
that.
them, yes, if you are about to use them again, you make sure you iron them to make sure you are free from infection.
Okay.
But
The head.
my cousins in village, how will they be able to iron it if they don't even have a stable light, if they don't even have, how to call it, the knowledge about you need to iron it.
I don't even know if they know about it.
Exactly.
And the process of going through the washing it, hanging it under the sun, iron it. And I don't think, because I'm not, it's not about not knowing it. At some point, we might feel uncomfortable. You see, it's something that is very sensitive. So something that you use on your private part, as we mentioned, you wash it. Hanging it outside is the problem now.
Exactly.
So
how do you expect?
sometimes it's not about what we don't want to do it, but it's about our dignity, our prides being intact. Jigéen kay loolu la am, sagu rek lañ am, so ngir Yàlla bàyyi leen ñu ci rek.
So now,
But then I think the only way out here is to work on how parts could be more affordable and accessible in this country.
and talking about part, do we even know how to dispose them?
Ah, help us here, viewers. Let's get educated.
Do we even know how to dispose parts?
Well,
We
someone
don't.
will tell me. I will just use
We,
it and
we,
throw
we,
it.
we don't. We
Uh-huh.
just take it out. If time permits us, I have a part that I want to show and how to call it, experiment it to show viewers that how to use and dispose parts. Because it's very crazy how people will just use the part, removing it, then you wrap it, throw it away. That blood is sensitive. You don't just have to throw it like that. And we don't even know how to dispose parts.
I think that is the most interesting part of all of this. And I believe even if we wrap this up, we will do that experiment, and inshallah, viewers will learn from this. Because believe it or not, as you said, not everyone knows how to dispose part. I once had a teacher that would tell students, if you throw your parts in the dustbin, I might take it and burn it. And then if I burn it, it has some complications. He sounded spiritual. But then at the end of the day, I think just seeing that blood is something else. And I think we need to know how to dispose them. That is very important. I think I know how to dispose them, but I'm not sure. I'm not very sure. So, but then we will be educated on how to dispose parts today. And I think every girl needs to see this and know about it. But then, so as she mentioned, she will be teaching us how to dispose parts. And for that, we don't need to just say it. We need to show you so that you will see and know. And then, Miss, you can go on. We are watching.
Let me just explain. This is part.
Okay.
And this is the panty liner. These are the small parts that we find in some parts. It is not meant for the menstruation. You just have to put it on your pant for discharges. Okay. Yeah, these ones are for the discharges and not for the blood, because Rayut Nonu is not that big, so you cannot just, it cannot hold the blood. So this is for the discharges. And then this is the part. This is the Icona brand that I use, and then the Always panty liner and the Always pad that I normally use. So this, like this, you just open a pad. When you do this, you just have to open it like this. This. You see, this is where you put it at the pants like this. So you do it like this. So at the behind of the pant, you put this and then put this on it like this. Exactly. So like this, that is when you're going to use it. But then after the entire usage of the part, you're just going to have it like this. So you see? It will stuck on it. So when you are about to dispose it, you put it inside the water.
Okay.
When you do this, so that is when you will take out all this.
Cotton on it. So that is where
All this cotton, that is where the blood is going to stain on. You take it off. But you know, girls will be like, are you okay? That is your blood we are talking about. Yes, so you just have to take it off like this. Everything in here. After removing every single cotton in here, then you just wrap it. Put it back in this. That is what you are going to throw. But then all the cotton that is having the blood, you flush that. The blood shouldn't necessarily mean that it has to go to the dustbin. No, you just have to take out every single blood cotton in this, dispose it, and then take this as this, put it in a nylon bag, tie it, and then when you are done, you dispose it.
Girl, I hope you are learning because I'm learning. And honestly, it is way easier than washing it with the entire blood and the whole cotton, and you think you can throw it away.
Exactly.
So, girl, I think I'm on this one because I thought I knew, but I knew. I confirmed that I knew. So every girl child down there, please know this is how to dispose parts. And men with husbands or with girlfriend, whatever it is, know how to help your girls when they are on their menstruation.
Gambians are not used to panty liners. Please, let's use this. It's very important because you cannot be wearing a pant, you are discharging on it for how many hours without changing that pant. You know, so you have to be using panty liners to prevent yourself from having infections.
Before we wrap up, can you please tell the viewers just anything, like what is it that you have for a girl child, someone that will need to sponsor, or stakeholders in this project that you are working on, as to what they can do to make sure that every girl child feels comfortable well on their cycle?
I just have few messages. The first one will go to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare.
Okay.
Dear Ministry, if you in any way come across this, this is the concerned girl as they call me, please, I just want you to put in a little bit efforts on how girls are being taken care of in terms of their menstruation. Please, the kinds of pads that they use, the quality of the pads, and then how the pads are being supplied. And then the girls in the provinces, if they are in any way getting access, I'm not saying easy, I'm just saying access to those pads. The ladies in Combos here, whether we are getting easy access to it. That is my question. That is my, take on this other part. And then that is the question that I have for the minister. And then talking to the stakeholders, this is not this is not my project. It is our project.
Yeah.
Your daughter might benefit from it. Someone that you know might benefit from it. And then even if you don't know anyone who might benefit from it, but then at least a Gambian is benefiting from it. And then to the men out there, uncles, daddies, I mean our brothers, our husbands, you need to do something. A girl on her menstruation, it's not actually her fault. all those mood swings, all those attitudes that we bring up, it is not our fault. We are just girls. So allow us to be ourselves and then get us parts, please. 'Cause
Allow
I
us be
know-
the girl that we are.
We are
Allow us
just-
be the girl that we are.
We are just
and
girls.
for that, you need education on menstrual hygiene or menstrual cycle for you to know how to take care of girls on their menstrual cycle. And viewers, thank you so very much for staying with us during this short period of time. And I believe you have learned a lot from this session. And thank you so very much, Miss Mane, for honoring this invitation and for bringing out such important knowledge out here. Until we come your way next week with another youth doing something interesting right here in this country. Until then, ciao.